Hell yeah. Can you hear me, my friend? Because I don't hear you and I don't see you. Um, yes, I see you, but I don't hear you. I don't know if you hear me. I'm gonna write in it. Yes. Hell yeah. My friend, it's a huge honor. Welcome for the first time to our Quebec radio show Prescription Punk Rock. Maybe for people that don't recognize your face or your voice, who the hell are you, man?
I'm some dude from California in a band called Love Equals Death. My name's Chon Travis. Uh, yeah, I love Quebec, man. You guys rule.
We love you too, man. That project have a special place in punk rock fans and people from Quebec for many reasons. First of all, it's always been original. Every release, everything you did, you choose your own path. It's different, and I think that a lot of people are looking for that now. Something different, but still punk rock. Maybe for people that unaware of the story of the band, how that project started up.
It started actually back in 2003 or four. I'm not sure. I think it started in '03, and then our first show I think it was 2004 on Halloween, and we kind of just took that vibe of Halloween throughout, the whole band and the aesthetic of how we write and whatnot. And so um, we traveled on, played a lot of shows, and then the band kind of broke up. We just kind of went our own ways. There's some issues with one of our members, and then I was sitting around for a few years, and my manager says, "Hey man, why don't you start the band again?" And I was like, he's all, "No, you should, dude." And then so I went and asked all the members if they wanted to try to do this again, and nobody wanted to. So he's all, "Just get new guys." And so that's what I did, and we started up again in 2019. Our first show was on Halloween night in 2019, and we went on from there and played a couple shows with Strung Out and the Casualties, and yeah, the rest is history. Wrote, yeah, start writing, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, but it kind of sucks because you came back to the scene, you saw the excitement, and the thing is, a lot of people learn about the project through years you wasn't there. So you meet new fans, see there's more people, and then there's a
yeah,
fucking pandemic, and everything is
yeah,
on pause a year after. Like the
yeah.
wave that you catch just like broke,
It
but
just it,
we're back to it.
exactly. Yeah, we snapped right back to it. I didn't give up on it. A lot of things happened. We had some guys who couldn't handle that transition going through the pandemic, and I totally understand that. And so some friends came in and helped me out. Like right now, I'm working with Todd Hiddig. He's playing drums, and he's an amazing dude. He's, if you guys don't know, he's from Death by Stereo, and it's just a great guy. And of course Tom, who helped me write the new record, Gravity and Grace. He's also from the Great Collapse, and him and Todd worked together on that. And yeah, just yeah, it was cool though. We all kind of just made it happen. So I'm stoked at where music is going. I'm stoked to be doing it again, and just out there with new fans, and yeah, just new energy. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, I think you point the finger on it. It's a new energy, and it's cool because
Yeah,
nothing happened for nothing. I think that
right.
the history with the band, it's always sucks when you have to change, the lineup. But
Yeah,
like you said, you bring people that have their own luggage, their own experience, and they bring that to the band. And even if they leave, it's still there. So all those people contribute to what's happening right now. So it's so cool to see that you're still at it, because I mentioned it. I love the project since day one. The
No,
originality of the band was something at that time that I was excited about, because a lot of bands decide to choose a road where they sound almost the same, which is not the
yeah,
case. They don't sound exactly, but
yeah.
there was something at that time, and I think that project was a step ahead of its time.
Nice, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we got a lot of slack from a lot of Fat Records fans when Fat Mike put the first record out. They're still, what is this? What is this? And we're just like, and yeah, it was funny to see the reactions. But then I was actually really stoked because we just didn't sound like any of those other bands, and I thought that was a good thing, not just for us, but for the label too, so that they could branch out and have a little diversity in their lineup and roster. So yeah, it was cool. It was a weird experience, but it was rad, man. It's punk. I don't expect everyone to like us, but yeah, it's cool, man. I love writing from my heart and my brain. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I felt with the new records. Like, it's really honest and mature lyrics, and the songs are fun and still catchy with a lot of melody. Is it more easy with time and the experience you gain to do a new records, or it's still a huge challenge for you?
It's sometimes it's easy. Some songs are really easy. Some songs can be written like really quickly. Let's see. For instance, sheesh, I would say the Law of One was like really easy to write because those emotions were there already, and Gravity and Grace was really easy to write because that emotion was already there and that experience was there. That song is about my brother actually, and so that was already inside of me. I just needed to hear the music that went along with it, and then once Tom like presented this music, I knew that those were the lyrics that needed to go there, and that emotion needed to be expressed in that song. So those were really easy, but yeah, it all depends, I guess.
It's really song by song.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, some songs take a while to figure out a story. If there's a story that you have in mind, all it takes is the right music to let that out. And in other cases, it's like, oh, there's a rad song, but I don't know what story or energy I need to put towards this. So that's yeah, that's the trick. But that's also the fun of it, and it never changes. I don't think it gets any different the older you get or the more experience you get. I think it's always just like, is it there or isn't it? It is, either is or isn't. So yeah, with me
Yeah,
anyways.
it's like surf. Like, you have to catch it's not like trying to force to catch a wave. You just have to flow the wave when it's there. And sometimes
Yeah,
it's not there, sometimes it's there. It's yourself you have to embrace when you're inspired, and just leave that to another day when you're not.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. Heck
and
yeah.
and I'm curious how music came to your life as a kid. Is it any parents, friends? How listening to music came to you, and how you start playing?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. My mom actually introduced me to music. She used to sing also. She passed
Wow.
away 3 years ago,
Oh,
um,
sorry.
just around the same time. So this is like an emotional time for me, anyways. But she would just sing around the house. We listened to a lot of R&B music and a lot of like jazz. Like she would sing herself. She would go and sing like on stage in like local bars and clubs. She grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. Then we moved to Davenport, Iowa. So she got out of that a little bit. And then when we moved to California, she started getting back into it a little bit more. She started to get out and sing in little bars and taverns and some clubs. And she just had a beautiful voice, man. Her name was Lady J, and she just sang killer jazz and blues, a lot of Billie Holiday covers, and and once I got old enough, I was like, so I was already just adapted to the whole melody and song and just being in my house. And uh, I started riding skateboards. And before that, I'll go back a little bit. Before that, I was really into Michael Jackson and Duran Duran. That was like my favorite. And so once I started riding skateboards, I met friends who were like into punk. And The Clash, I think that was Give 'Em Enough Rope was my first album that I ever got. And then my friend Nick 13 told me about this band called the Misfits. And I was like, oh fuck. I was oh, excuse my language. I was like, holy smokes, this is rad. And it's just so intense. And so I started listening to more punk. And then I got into GBH, like really hardcore. And they finally played the US. I remember hitchhiking down with my skate friends, some of my skater friends, and we saw GBH, man, and Cro-Mags play this small club, and it was so crazy. It was nuts. And then this dude HR that I never heard of before, and he came on stage during the Cro-Mags set, and he was a black dude. So I'd never seen a black dude in a punk scene before. And then turns out he had his own band called Bad Brains. And I was just like, holy smokes. And then that's when I just knew that was my music, man. I was like, ah. And so, yeah, that's when it all started.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, it was rad, man. I was stoked.
From Duran Duran to Bad Brains and Cro-Mags and GBH. But
GBH,
it's cool. But I'm not surprised, because that's what I felt, that you were really open-minded to music. And I think that the best musician, or at least the most interesting, are the ones that are really open-minded and don't leave the door closed, because you bring that in the band, but with a different style and different visions. And I'm always surprised to hear like songs or band that use R&B, or like in the case of Nevermind, Nirvana, like Dave Grohl said on an interview, I use disco stuff for the drum, like the boom. And so, it's beautiful to see that you can take a lot from every genre and just put it and do something which is blow your mind. And I think that's what with Love Equal Death, that it really blew my mind, and now I get it.
Nice. Thanks, man. Thank you.
And you're right. It was a time that it seems that there was not a lot of black people in the American scene. We saw with the Clash with the British, that there was a lot of in discussing, there was a lot of black people. The Jamaican bring the reggae. They change it up a little bit. They put like some horns, and ska was back. It was incredible. But you're right. And I think that, it's something Black people have music in their blood mostly. And it's incredible the drive that they get. And they, like most of us, white people are inspired by Black music because it's just fucking great, man. You have the group and everything. And you bring that in Love Equal Death, I think.
Oh, right on. Thanks, man. It's cool that it's cool to hear that. I've never heard anyone analyze it or break it down like that. That's pretty cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I did my class, but history is so interesting because we don't realize it, that it always comes from something else. And that's what happened with punk. And it's really interesting to see that we're getting back to that, people bring other style to punk rock. And that's make me like punk, so much still after those years, the originality.
Right on. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I was listening. I don't know what it's called, but I think Fat Mike has like this new project, and I just heard it briefly the other day. Forgot what it was called, but
codependent, something like that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that he's doing that too. I think it's pretty neat, man. That's good. He's grown a lot. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but I keep tabs on just being in the punk scene, and it's really cool that he's branching out, doing some other stuff, man. It's pretty neat.
Did you hear like what Melvin did too with his solo project?
I haven't heard that.
Pretty different.
Is it? I haven't heard that yet. I know that he DJ'd last summer at Spamfest, but I Yeah, I didn't get to see it. I was sleeping.
Yeah, we're getting old, man. We need some rest.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
How did you met Fat Mike back in the days?
Fat Mike just came out to one of our shows. Some of the girls that we knew worked at Fat Records and had told Fat Mike about us, and and invited him to a show that we were playing in Petaluma, California. And so he came out to the show and watched the live show. And after that, he came on stage and said that he wanted to put out a record. And we just kind of looked at him like, yeah, right, whatever. And we were just starting to load up our gear. We are just like, yeah, fuck. We heard everything. He's not going to put out a record, whatever. He's just talking crap to us. And so he started following us, and we're just all, what's going on? He's all, no, I want to put out your record. I'm all, oh, okay. Well, oh shit. I guess he's serious. And so we talked and met the next day in San Rafael and talked about putting out the record. And then we went, I think 2 weeks later, out to the blasting room with Bill Stevenson and Jason and put out Nightmarica. Yeah. Yeah. And so that was it for that. It was pretty cool. And then we put the record out and he took us out on tour for a couple of weeks, which was really cool also. So it was No Effects, Strike Anywhere, and Love Equals Death.
What a
So yeah,
lineup.
that was amazing. Yeah.
And I think that every band when they release their first record, it kind of I felt, I don't know if I'm right, but I feel like he's really behind the band to every step. And then like the second and third records, they just leave the band do their thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But by that time, you should be well enough on your own to go out and do your own thing, which is really cool. It's really cool of him. I don't know a lot of well, there's not a lot of labels who have Fat Mike, as their owner. So it's unique.
Yeah, and I like that he kind of changed the direction of the label, signing different band. Like Get That, you mentioned the new
Yeah.
project. It's with Sam, and it's so
Yeah.
original. I love Get That because it's just different. It's another
Yeah.
beast.
I love those dudes. Actually, in my old band, Loose Change, we used to play with their old band called the Inverted Nines a lot, like in Chico, California, and around Sacramento, California here. And it's just so funny to see those guys. Like we ran into each other in Europe, and we are just like, we're still here, we're doing it. Yeah. So it was really awesome to see those dudes, man. I love Get
Yeah,
Dead.
you're right. Congratulations, by the way. When I saw I'm really close friend with the Flatliners. I
Oh,
grew up with
nice.
them. They're from Toronto, and back in the days when they released the first record, "Destroy to Create," we
Oh,
following them every fucking where, man. I think we saw them like 15 times during those years, and they were more younger than me. So, and we really bound and to see him
yeah,
grow. And last time I saw them in December, that's what I said to Krish, man. We're still there. We're
yeah,
dreaming of making something in the punk scene, and after 20 years, we're there, man. That's
yeah.
incredible.
Absolutely, man. It's great.
And congrats, you stick to it. Even with when it stopped, you still have dream and getting to it because when it's in your
Yeah,
blood and you stop creating, there's a hole in your life.
there is, and I suffered through that too. That was a whole another part of my life where even before the pandemic, that time off was like it was kind of a growing period for me, but it was there was a lot of like there's a lot of loss, and in myself and my energy. There's like it was a weird time, man. And I'm glad that I got through it because a lot of people don't get through it. I had a stint with doing lots of drugs and drinking and like just abusing myself, and I finally just snapped out of it. I was just like, this doesn't not fit my personality. If I want to fill this void, I just need to play music. I need to walk in the direction of what I want to do, and everything will fall into place. And so that's what I did.
I feel you. I went through the same process when the pandemic hit.
Mm.
The show was kind of on a hold for 10 weeks, and that was the first time I had really nothing to do at home. Like I was
Yeah.
seeing 5 show a weeks, doing review writing and doing interviews and doing the radio show. That was the life that I enjoy. And then boom, and then
Yeah.
I started drinking. I don't drink hard alcohol at that time. I was drinking whiskey straight to the bottle,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That's
then
what I
a
was
day,
doing.
and you wake up and you're just like, shit, I'm doing nothing, man. And like,
Yeah.
if I died tomorrow, I would be like pissed to see that for 10 weeks I was
Yeah.
just like contemplating like Netflix. And then I
Yeah.
start reading more, quit drinking, read a lot about the history of punk rock, of other
Uh,
scene, other band, and start to write again and doing more interview. And the radio show came back and everything went in place.
yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
It's so
That's
cool
so
because a
rad.
lot of people struggle. So, man, you really
Yeah.
are an inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations to you too, man. A lot of people don't have that story to where they've turned it around, you know. Like the song Gravity and Grace off the new album. My brother, you know, he's not one of those stories. Like he I mean, the guy literally had it all. He was like, and he still has his charm, like, and I still believe in him. I still believe that even if it was a day before he fucking died, I think he would figure it out. Like I still believe in him to turn it around, and but he hasn't yet, and it's sad because he had it, everything, like all the things that I could like dream of, like he's had and just lost it, you know. So
Uh,
it's yeah, so it's
it's
hard.
sad.
It's yeah.
You know, I lost a friend today, an hour before we went on. I learned the news. He dies from
Ah,
a stroke attack, a heart stroke,
ah,
driving his car. I think from the story I heard, like there was an accident involved 3 cars, but it was not a big accident. But I think
ah,
that it just started the stroke. But he was doing so much cocaine back in the days. It
ah,
really destroyed his life for many years. So kind of the past just took over him again. It's really sad.
yeah,
So I feel you
yeah,
losing somebody that you love and you believe in him and you just like it's really sad. It's cool that you change it to something positive with music and
yeah,
inspire people. And I'm sure a lot of people will hear that and say, "Hey, man, me too." And we're so much people involved together. We're
yeah,
connected in a way, and it's just
absolutely.
tragedy after tragedy for many people. So when you see that, you're just like, hey, man, I'm alive. I'm going to do the best and I'm going to talk about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's hard. I you know when I go into social media, there at least once a week there's some kind of like weird tragedy where someone has overdosed or someone is in the hospital or someone had some kind of heart issue due to using drugs or doing something, and it's like, oh man, and I live in a small town, so it hits us pretty hard, and if there was something, and I try, and I hope that it does help people. Like, I hope my music does help people, um, because that's all I have. And if I could do more, I would. Um, and I've tried. I've tried to run for city council here in this town to try to help. I try to reach out to kids. I try to get on the PTA board at the school, and just whatever I could do because, like you said, we are all connected. And I think little tremors of help and positivity go a long way. Like anything, like it, just going and saying hi to somebody who wouldn't normally, have anyone say hi to. That'll trickle down and maybe spark something and something else that she does or he does, down the road in the same day and help somebody else out. And so more positivity, I think, is what we need. And so hopefully music gets out there and helps people in a positive way.
It did, man. The new record did. I had
No,
such a blast listening to it, and it makes me
not,
feel good. So I'm sure for a lot of people, it would reach them in different
not,
ways, but there's a lot of emotion involved with the lyrics and everything. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people will find themselves and maybe some, no solutions, but just that door
yeah,
with the road that you can take and just like, because happiness is just little thing that you put through your journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
I'm reading well, the biography of Greg Graffin from Bad Religion, and you mentioned that you had to travel when you were young to California. I'm curious because where you were from, it's pretty different than LA. How was California for you when you arrived there?
You know what? It was really cool. It was it was it was there's a lot more social freedom, I thought. Um People were a little bit more relaxed. I was from like a super like Christian, like super religious area. And so coming here, not a lot of people went to church. I mean, they did, but we didn't know them, you know, and they weren't pushing it on us. And even those people who did go to church, they were pretty loose, and they were just like, yeah, whatever, you know, I just go because whatever, my mom likes to go, and everyone knows everyone, and blah blah blah. But it was really relaxed. I felt like I could grow, you know, socially and intellectually as well. Uh, Whereas being from the Midwest, there was it was kind of segregated socially, you know. You don't talk about this. You shouldn't be thinking about that, and that's gonna get you in trouble. Whereas here is like, let's try it, you know. And I was like, yeah, let's fucking do whatever. Yeah, let's try it. And so that's when I learned, you know, skateboarding, surfing, and just whatever, man. I just started doing more things, and branching out and expanding my thought process, and just yeah, just enjoying life, you know, a little bit more. And I'm very grateful for that, for sure. Because who
So
knows
cool.
who I'd be if I was still in the Midwest.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah,
California have such an importance in the scene, and musically, like not just the punk scene. There was something
yeah,
really special. Maybe that's the freedom. I think you really hit it with freedom. Like you can do
yeah,
whatever the fuck you want because there's
yeah.
no winter outside, like in Quebec, where it's minus 45. That can
Oh
stop you
shit.
for doing a lot of things. But when it's
Yeah,
sunny, it's just the sunshine, the vitamin, and everything. It's
yeah,
cool.
absolutely, man.
You
That's
know,
rad.
we really hope to see you, of course, in Quebec again. How's gonna be 2023 for Love Equal Death?
Well, we're working on some shows right now. I'm playing a hometown show March 11th in Ukiah, and then we're working with Flix Agency to try to book some more shows uh, towards the end of the year, just to give us a little time because we hit it so hard last year. I think we were out for 3 weeks straight with no days off, and then we played a couple of shows when we got home, and so we're trying to get some writing in as well as play a few spotted shows until fall, and I think the fall we'll head out again. But hopefully we'll get to Quebec. I'd love to go to Canada. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get on the email machine today and email Felix and see what we can come up with.
Bookers in Quebec, festival in Quebec, it's your time. We want to see them. And a lot of people request songs on my radio show. So I know
Oh,
there's a lot of fans that want to see you guys and miss that project a lot.
nice, man. Well, yeah, we want to see them, man. I love people. I love hanging out, love playing, I love the energy. So yeah, I would definitely come to Quebec.
Well, yeah, I'm going to wait for you. At least there's me waiting.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough for me, man. That's good enough.
And of course we invite people go grab the new records, buy it. It's with what's the best way to directly encourage you with the merch?
Um, you can pick up our merch at loveequalsdeath.net. And that goes directly to my merch store, which is right behind me, which you guys probably can't see. Um, but yeah, and then I ship it right out from right where I'm sitting. So Or you can if you want to go through spam, you can go to spam.rocks.shop, I believe, and pick it up there, and that'll ship from Austria.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. They're doing a great job.
they're doing awesome, man. I have to give my hat off to Stefan. He's the hardest working man in punk rock right now, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So yeah, it's good. It's rad. And
Yeah.
yeah, our friends. The last time we were in Canada, actually, I think it was. Oh no, that was with Goldfinger, but we didn't go on the East Coast at all. But he just went and saw Goldfinger in LA. He flew to LA and saw Goldfinger, and it was rad. It was funny because I'd seen him the night before, and it was amazing. So hopefully we get to go there with Goldfinger. That'd be really awesome.
I know the Planet Smasher from Montreal play with Goldfinger on
Yeah, they
that
did.
tour. Was
Yeah, that was
what
awesome.
yeah.
That was amazing, dude. Those guys are awesome, dude. Heck yeah, man. I didn't know they were from Canada. That's rad.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's one of the best ska band out there ever. But the thing
Oh,
is, Matt, the singer, start his label Stomp Records, where the
oh,
Planet Smasher could conquer the world. So they kind of put like the touring around the world on stop for many years, and they are
oh,
legendary here because they did many shows. I think it's the band I
oh,
saw the most live. Never get
whoa.
tired, but now that the label is on can run by kind of itself, they have the crew and
Yeah.
everything. They start touring the world again, so it's so cool. Like people, I spoke with a
Wow.
lot of people that, like Bite Me Bambi. I did an interview with them, and Mike was like, "Man, I just saw them like." And tried to speak to them and everything. It was like, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know that. That's so rad, dude. That's so rad. Yeah, I'm gonna check those guys out and see what's up with them. They did really well here. Yeah, they were well received. So that's really nice to hear.
Let's start with that. Matt is the owner of the Poudza Fest. So Matt, if you're listening, we want
Ah,
like Will Death at the Poudza. Maybe if
yeah,
this year is too fast, next year's would be great.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we were on Puza, and then we had to cancel because of our guitar player. But yeah, we'd love to get back on. I didn't realize Matt was the owner of that. That's rad. That's
Hell
even
yeah.
better. Right on, man.
Travis, you're amazing. Thank you so much. I really had a blast. It's a really good interview. And man, again, people go grab merch. And if you cannot buy merch, no worries. It's punk rock. Learn the songs, go see them live, and sing them fucking loud.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it, Eric.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so
All right.
much. We're going to do a huge special. I'm going to send you all the details. We're not a podcast show. We have the
Okay.
podcast available, but we're live in the studio at CKRL 89.1. It's the first francophone radio in Canada,
Oh,
actually.
nice. Nice, man. Fuck yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Travis.
Yeah.
And stay safe and see you soon.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers.